So, do you have any problems with the listening sections that we have in the tests or in the practice? Do you have any problems? Do you have situations where you are not sure about the answers and you say, well, it should be easier, this part of listening. Does it happen to you? Yes or no? Does it happen to you? Are you there? Does it happen to you? Yes or no?
Yes. I'm good, teacher.
But listen to me. Does it happen to you in listening comprehension that you're not very sure about the answers? Maybe you don't have time to write everything from the exercise, or maybe you're not sure about the answer, if it's correct or incorrect. Does it happen to you? No, really?
In the test?
In the
We
test?
are right, ¿verdad? Really?
Really? Well, sometimes, yes. In the exercises and in the test, not everybody has 100 in listening, and that's why, as a teacher, I had to study techniques to improve my listening comprehension, and you're going to do the same for CEIC. So before we go to the techniques, why do we need listening? Do you know? Why spend so much time on listening here? Do you know? Well, maybe it's because English is composed of 4 skills. If we only practice reading or writing or grammar, we're not going to speak English. We're going to have a little section of the language. And that's why we need listening, because we need to get the information. And then we need speaking, because we're going to produce information based on what we heard. We have reading, because we're going to get information and maybe we're going to use similar techniques. And we're going to have writing, because we need to produce based on the same that we get. And that's real life. We get a lot of information by listening, talking to somebody else. And with listening and the other skills together, they cannot be alone. They need to be together. We can recognize material, determine purpose, draw conclusions, and that's why you need all of them at the same time. And maybe you have seen that we have a lot of types of questions, right? Sometimes we have to fill in the blank. Sometimes we have yes or no, true or false. And sometimes we have multiple choice. And that's why we have to practice every time. Now, how do we practice? That's the point, right? So this is the technique, and it's going to help you here, and it's going to help you in certification exams like TOEFL, TOEIC, all that is going to say that you are advanced. So this is step number 1. Listen carefully, right? And then you're going to write down all the information, because you have to read the question and then write everything, because if you try to write and answer at the same time, you're going to get confused and maybe you forget something. Then you're going to try to listen again, get all the information. Maybe you're going to listen twice or 3 times. In here we're going to listen twice. And then you have to write everything, and with time, try to answer. That is the last step. Answering is the last step. After you have done everything, you are going to answer. Don't try to do it at the same time. And that's gonna be the technique in here and in the advanced exercises of listening. And you're going to see that you're going to be able to speak to Americans, to classmates, and to people from India, from England, because you have very good listening skills. You cannot only talk to me because I have one particular accent. You have to practice with everybody, and you have to listen to different accents and situations. And that's why this is important, because we're going to be able to question things, make questions, analyze, paraphrase, say the information that somebody else told you. And we have here a lot of benefits that I'm not going to say because of time. But in your presentation, you're going to say all of them.